hello, and welcome along to episode 15, I think. Called Netherdeep. Darth in charge, and he's over there.
14 or it's
15. It's 15.
Sure. It's 15? Alright. Yes, welcome back to the Call of the Netherdeep campaign. I'm Darth. I have with me playing today James.
Oh, we're playing ping pong together. I'm James. I play Silas Stormbringer. He is a winged tiefling divine soul sorcerer paladin.
He is. I have Alora.
Hi, I'm Alora. I'm playing Thea, the Kalistar Wildfire Druid.
I have Jamal.
Things. I am Unit 2B01, your personal artificer assistant. Now that I am no longer imprisoned, I may be of service to you. So how may I be of service to you?
Sorry. That's what we should have called the episode, Darth. We should have called it Our Robot is No Longer in Prison.
But whatever I said it was is better. I have Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Miles, the PSI human warrior fighter.
And I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Binks, the Way of Mercy Monk.
You didn't go for your race this time.
Race!
We last left off getting our robot out of prison, and also finally getting some information from the Cobalt Soul. They were able to inform you guys about two of the three gods that gave the Apothean power and power the Jewels of Three Prayers, and gave you an idea of a destination of where it might be, but asked that instead of trying to go on your own, you just wait until Owen can convince the higher-ups to mount an expedition to go in. We now re-enter. A couple of days have passed. It's just been, downtime. Nothing really.
Silas and Miles have been tearing up the town.
Exactly. They're
Oh, yeah.
wanted in 3 districts.
No. We'd be gambling. We'd be going out watching events.
I repeat what I said.
Yeah.
3 districts.
Competing in the arena. That sort of stuff. Is there an arena there? There's an arena now.
There is an arena now.
Sick.
I'm fine with this. We're gonna fuck. You know what? Fuck what I had planned. We're going to the arena.
Yeah, me and Miles fought each other in the final. Binks won.
Anyways, you guys wake up on this particularly cold morning. I say particularly cold in the desert, so like average heat everywhere else, it's like a desert cold. But you wake up, and the sending stone that Owen gave you is starting to sort of flash, and there's a message pending. Who would like to answer it?
I'll answer it.
All right. As you answer it, Owen says, I have a new mission for you all. If you would care to come down to the library, I will give you the details of the next mission in person, as well as answer or give you any necessities you feel as though you might need for this mission.
Cool. Am I able to respond?
Yeah.
No, I'll just say we'll be over there at some point in the afternoon.
All right, I will see you then. I'll be honest, I was hoping
We're gonna have
like,
to.
okay, and then not tell anybody.
We're gonna have to get Toby to start doing the Tango Oscar over and out over the stone tablet.
Over.
Oh dear.
I'll relay it to everyone else. We gotta go see Owen.
Waiting until the afternoon?
Well, I assumed Binks would probably get us distracted. That's why I said that.
That makes
Fair
sense.
assumption.
Good call.
We'll do our best to get there before the demons in the basement get us. Silas has no prep to do, except possibly nursing a hangover if we had a good night last night.
You did.
Yeah.
you wake up to not only a hangover, but also a black eye. Unsure how you got it.
It's invisible on my completely black skin, so I don't notice.
Okay, it's a white eye then.
Oh god! Yeah, I'm infected! Oh no. We're all good.
Silas, you appear to be looking a little puffy. What on earth happened to you?
I don't know. Somebody called Miles a cheapskate.
Roll me a history check. See if you can recount last night's events.
I don't.
Is it both of us or just him?
I'm not
No,
gonna
just
lie.
him.
I don't have my character sheet open. Give me a second. I got an 11 on the dice, and I've opened the wrong campaign.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I can look at everybody's characters that I don't play it.
Choose a random character. Take their history.
No, they're all like level 1 and in the Underdark and like severely understated. I do not want to use
Wow,
their,
wonderful.
their. Oh, that's depressing. I should have used nobody's characters. I got an 11 on the dice for a 10.
You vaguely remember something about a drink being spilled. You're not sure if it was yours or someone
Oh,
else's.
I hope I killed him.
Then
With
you remember
magic.
being on the floor, and then you remember you remember some burning. There was some burning somewhere.
Good. Okay. So yeah, I'll just turn to I'll turn to Toby, and I'll say, someone spilt Miles's drink, so we judged him in the eyes of the Everlight and burned him alive at the stake, or something. I don't really remember.
Did you not get arrested?
I didn't use
How
magic.
did I get arrested?
I used a torch.
And yet you go freely.
I used a torch. Don't worry about it. No. I used no magic.
Toby, if you
You,
want to roll
sir,
insight,
disappoint me.
if you want to roll insight, you can see if he's telling the truth or not.
Oh, no, it's probably not.
Yeah. Okay. I got a 24 on deception.
Okay.
Good luck.
You win.
All right, so Toby, as far as you believe, that is the events that he believes happened.
Yeah, there was definitely some steak involved and some spilt drinks. I'm not sure we burnt anyone at it. Shall we?
I'm now marginally concerned too.
As long as that doesn't make you break your ankle bracelet. Oh, good.
Oh, that got removed over the couple days. I forgot to.
Oh, yeah, it did, didn't it? Oh, you're
At the
free!
end-
Yes.
You're
At the
free!
end of the episode, at the end of last episode, the guard said that they would just be waiving any
we had to pay the
charges, and
fine,
he'd have to
didn't we?
pay. He would have to pay a fine, which you still don't know what it is yet.
I thought it was 100 gold. I thought we paid it. Oh, well.
That was the bail.
That was.
Oh, that was that. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, and then we had a discussion, a long, interesting discussion about whether we got the bail money back. That was the 100 gold I wanted to talk about.
We didn't even
No,
get it
we
back.
didn't. No, we
Amazing.
They didn't
Great.
get
What a
Right, let's go
fine.
see Owen.
Anyways. Yes. So, waking up, going to the Cobble Tour, nothing much happens. It does seem, if anything, it's a little bit quieter today. Whether that be you all are just up earlier, or just it's like an off day for a lot of the market. But as you sort of pass, a lot of like the stalls that are usually been opened and bustling and just loud and obnoxious, it's been very tame today. It's few people walking in the streets. If anything, it seems like everyone might be hungover. Anyways,
Fair
you
enough.
arrive.
Good on them.
You arrive at the Cobble Tour, and the receptionist greets you and says, "What are you here for this day? What are you here for today?"
We're here to report to Owen.
Ah, all right. Go down that hallway. Take a left. Take a right. Then you take a right. Then you do a circle. Then you take a left and a right.
Left and a right and a left and then a circle and then a left and a right and a right. Got it. On it. Bye.
Something like that.
Yep.
Give me a survival check.
It's a 4.
All right, you guys get immediately lost.
I wasn't me leading the way, but I got us lost nice and well. Tommy's got
turning in
perfect
circles.
recall. He'll know exactly what they just told us to do.
You guys get lost for a few minutes, and you run into Question, who is also going to see Owen. So she says,
Question!
"Did you get your? Oh, good morning, Xylus.
No.
Did you get yourselves lost?"
The receptionist was very abrupt with her instructions.
What's so hard about a left, a right, a left, do a circle, then a left and a right?
The
It's not that
circle.
hard. The circle you just... No, okay.
Was it a
There
circle
is
to
a
the left
problem
or a
with
circle
that
to the
question.
right?
That
What
a
problem
good
is that?
question.
Problem I have identified with that question is when is the left and when is the right and when is the next left and when do you circle and when do you do the next left and when do you do the final right? As you can
Well,
see, there are no
Why did the
time
receptionist
durations.
give us an extra
There
right
are
to
no-
turn?
Yes.
I don't think she did. I don't think she would intentionally do the wrong direction. But
And
Regardless,
she also
maybe
did
we
not
should
tell
go.
you at which locations to turn. So that is very
I'll show you on the way
unhelpful.
back then.
That would be very helpful.
But I'm assuming
Unlike
you
the
all are going to
receptionist.
see. I'm assuming you all are going to see Owen today.
We are indeed.
All right.
Ready to risk life and the freedom of our robot for the Cobalt Soul.
I would not like to have my freedom risked again, if you do not mind.
Tried to avoid that. You do
Much
represent
rather
the
risk my
Cobalt Soul now.
structural integrity than my freedom.
You do represent the Cobalt Soul now, so try not to burn the city down.
Well, indeed.
Quite frankly, I believe that would be a hard one to do. But I
You all
understand your
could find a
sentiment.
way.
Let's.
I think it
Owen,
would be quite an impressive feat if I did manage to. So,
on the
I
other
still
hand,
think it's best not to put that to the test.
Thea could probably manage it.
They're just spinning in circles.
Doing the circle before
Question's
the
gonna
next
come
left and
up
right.
and like. Question's gonna come up and sort of like grab your shoulders to stop you and like hold you in place. Get a little bit dizzy. She's just like, "Are you okay?"
She didn't say when to stop circling.
Okay. I have to teach you how to get here. Anyways, we should go see Owen. Stay close, please. And she takes you to Owen's office. It's the exact same place that you met him, the very first time, in his little office area with just some bookshelves and stuff like that, with various arcane tomes, overlooking the library, where you can see there are a few patrons there. Once again, though, significantly less than last time, and any other times that you guys have come to visit. But as you enter, Owen says, "Good morning. How are you all doing?"
Excellently, thank you. We've been enjoying your town. City.
Yes, it is. It is quite beautiful.
There's lots to do.
Yeah,
Entertaining.
Indeed. Did you all go out to the festival last night?
I think so.
You're not sure.
I think we got
if you
there.
went.
We were drinking on the way there, and well, it was a long night.
Did you happen to burn down one of the tents on accident?
If it did happen, it wasn't my fault.
Oh no. All witness accounts say that whoever did it, it isn't their fault. It's just there was supposedly an encounter with a tiefling and a human that led to a torch getting hit off its pedestal, touching the cloth tent, and it was set ablaze.
I'm just gonna say that the more limbs you have, the harder it is to be drunk. It's difficult to stay coordinated, and then my wings just sort of flap quietly.
You see, as soon as you say that, he immediately takes out a little notepad, writes something down, and then puts it away.
I'm very coordinated while sober. Anyway, you had work for us.
Yes, we did. I have a lead on a potential seller for the black market.
What? He's selling the black market? He's selling
Seller
to the black...
for the black market. He sells goods on the black market.
Ah, okay. And you want us to turn him over to the gods?
First, I want you to once again confirm our suspicions. But then I want you to go and confiscate any magical objects that you find, and then hand them over to the guards. I will pay you handsomely for the artifacts that you find.
Excellent.
And
Do that.
this will be a bit of a dangerous job, because according to our sources, if he is the seller that we are looking for, and that we've been chasing for the last few months now, then tonight there will be an auction for one of the items. It is very likely that should you attempt to brute force it, that you will be on the end of a couple nasty folks.
Okay.
Nothing we haven't dealt with before.
So what you are implying is that they will not recognize our authority to carry out this act.
I highly doubt that they will stop their illegal activities should you ask. But I do know you all. You can be very persuasive at certain times, so who knows? And as he says this, he
Sorry,
goes
there was an
and he-
auction. Do we know where the auction is?
Yes. He pulls out a map, like a personal map, and he marks down an area in. Let me just get the map here. It is.
Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure why there's an auction in a bakery. Judging by the title.
Black market.
Judging by the
Well,
title, it's got to be a
bakery-
bakery involved, right?
Well, the spot that he marks is the spot that Binks and Thea are well aware of at this point. It is a quiet little bakery pretty close to the house that sells very good breads and very good sweet goods.
Did you mark
Not
it?
that place. No, tell me, no, not that place.
Hold on.
Sorry,
Let me
I don't know if I've missed something. Is the illegal activity just that they've got magical items?
No, and so what he says is that they, whoever it is, they assume it's the owner of the bakery, he is illegally obtaining magical items
It's the
and
owner
then
of the
selling
bakery?
them to people who want, very powerful items that cannot be procured very easily.
Got it.
And they want us to hand them over to the guards.
They want you to confirm the suspicion, if he is. They want you to then confiscate any of the magical items and turn it over to the library, and then then take the owner and give him to the guards.
I am not comfortable with this.
Why?
Because yet again, we're giving the library more power. Just because they want the power to themselves. They don't want to share the power.
Is Bink saying this out loud?
No!
Okay.
I'm just thinking.
Do you think they might be susceptible to an extra buyer turning up at the auction? If I wanted to phrase myself as a purchaser, where would you approach?
From all accounts that we have so far, it is very much an impromptu black market selling. The seller, as I said, we've been after him for a while, but it seems he has just recently come into a very powerful artifact that he wants to get rid of as soon as possible. And so tonight there is supposed to be an impromptu auction.
Okay.
So there is no planned guests, no planned attendance. It is
Great.
everyone comes and then attempts to auction for it.
So
I have a question.
Yes.
If we confiscate all the magical items, what do we tell the guards?
The guards understand that powerful items such as these cannot be held within. They cannot safely keep it. So they are fine with us taking it, especially considering the fact that we destroy most black market items that we find later.
What do you mean most?
There are a couple items that we find that are relevant to current researches, or current people who are researching things. But most of the time, it is very dark, evil, black magic that we destroy, as it should never have existed in this world in the first place.
How convenient for you. I am saying this out loud.
Care to elaborate?
No. You know what I mean.
I do know.
It's just convenient for you.
How so?
Well, just that your organization is out here hunting down... Well, the whole city's hunting down magical people, but you're also looking for magical things, and then you're the one who has to keep the place protected from said magical items, and you destroy all of them, apart from some of them that just so happen to fit into your research. It all seems very convenient.
Yes, when you put it like that, it does sound very convenient. Just like how it sounds very convenient that you just found the jewel, and it just so happened to give you visions and give you immense power. Am I wrong?
I didn't find it. It was fate.
Then I could very well say that this is fate, that I'm sending you on this mission.
No, I don't.
Is this really the time for a philosophical debate?
If now not, then when, Xylus?
When the items are in our possession, and we can actually ascertain the nature of them, and whether they might indeed pose danger to others.
Binks, I very much appreciate your skepticism of us. It is exactly what we look for in this organization. And I do understand that you, by all accounts, have no reason to trust us. If that's the case, you can go over to the Alliance of Allsight. They will act the same as us. Not very different. Or you can go to the Vermilion Dream.
Why would I go to any of these organizations? You're all the same in different themed colors.
Then how are you going to continue finding things about that jewel that you're wearing right now?
You found anything about the jewel that I'm wearing right now?
Yes, we went over this a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I've not found anything else.
It has been 3 days, Binks.
Well,
We
I'm
already
just
know
saying,
where to go next.
It's a very, powerful organization.
Anyways, if you want the job, it is there for you to take. I am paying part of it up front. Would you say
Quite a bit.
What are you paying?
He pulls out a bag, sets it on the table. It has some heft to it. He says 250 gold up front.
Each?
This job. No, not each, but 250 more for when you come back, and 250 for every single magical item that you bring me.
Okay.
That seems a little low.
Do you know what kind of magical items these are?
All that I've heard is that this supposed magical item that is going up for auction is it's known to cause sickness and disease wherever it goes.
Do you by any chance have any fancy clothes for us to wear so we can blend in as auctioneer buyers?
I can guarantee you that you will not need a disguise whatsoever.
Okay.
As I said, this is impromptu, not invitational.
I see. So you said for each magical item. I'm guessing what you mean is any further magical items that they have, you would like these too, regardless of what they actually are as such. Just in their possession, yes?
Yes, any magical items that will be sold at the auction, or any magical items that you feel are important being held on any of the buyers there, should you have to subdue them, then if you bring it to us, I will pay you for every single magical item. But I should hope that it doesn't have to come to violence.
Unfortunately, it will be impossible to tell in some cases, I believe, whether an item would be auctioned or not, but nonetheless, any appropriate that we see.
We'll investigate and we'll collect up the magical items and we'll work from there.
And he will also put another bag on the table. Says this is 500 gold in it. This is your spending fee if you attempt to go the just winning the auction route.
Okay, so let me just clarify it out of character.
Yep.
We are suspecting somebody who is a baker of purchasing
Yes.
and selling on magical items. So we can investigate the baker/bakery, and then
Yes.
there is an auction tonight that we can either
Happening
attend
at some place.
at the same place.
Yes.
Yeah, that
That's
we
what
can attempt
that's what their
to
information tells.
that we can attempt to arrive at as purchasers, or potentially sneak in, or break in, or just sort of leap in, where the sale is taking place. And the only person we know of who's involved in this is the baker himself.
That is a new question. He will say, as the reason why this has come to our attention is that one of the buyers may be from the Vermilion Dream.
Okay. Be that as it may.
Which we don't want them to have any artifact whatsoever associated with a plague or any power whatsoever.
Is it a regular auction or a silent auction?
It is. It's a regular auction. As I said, the seller put this message out onto the black market very quickly. Whatever the item is, it surely does not. He does not want it staying with him, as he wants it for as little time as he can have.
And do you expect any danger with the item itself? You mentioned it can cause sickness.
As I said, sickness has tended to follow it. But for the short amount of time that you do have it, I don't think it should be a problem. But again, I haven't been able to completely confirm what the artifact is and what it can do.
I've heard tales of cases and bags that can suppress the magic of an item. Do you have anything of the like?
I will send for. I will.
If
send
you have
for
one,
of the
Miles can
researchers.
find it. It's just a
Yes.
26 investigation check. For a reason.
I
Cool.
was investigating for magic items.
Yeah, we can possibly, maybe just don't touch it or something. I don't know, wrap it in a cloth bag
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, cool.
Is there any other equipment that you feel would need to be of necessity for this mission, or anything you would like to ask that would help you that isn't too out of the ordinary? He'll look.
+2 sword? That's not too out of the ordinary. No, we're good.
Grab
Right.
something a little protective.
Of what variety? There's many types of protections that we could offer.
My armor's not that strong. I kind of made it myself. But maybe if there's like a magical protective force of some sort.
Oh, like a cloak?
Yes, like that. That'd be sick.
Wait, is there just walking around in this sort of ragtag, self-made bunch of hides?
Not ragtag. It's well made. I've had many years of practice.
In terms of, it's not hide armor then.
Yeah. what
Leather.
level-
Okay.
It's just plain leather armor.
Yeah.
He will say, I do not think we have anything of your size prepared, but I will say, as a courtesy, I will ask the researchers and some of our artificers to start working on something for you.
I want to get one of these, and I'll wrap my big shiny breastplate.
I don't really like metal.
I was going to say,
Ooh,
I think
she's
that would
going-
interfere with her magic.
We're going with that rule, are we? God, I hate that rule. I don't know, can't you make it of wood or something?
Too shiny.
Breastplate made of tree bark or something.
Regardless, he will say, we don't have anything on hand currently, but I can certainly put a order in for you. While I'm at it, is there anything else anyone would like to order? I'll put it on your tab.
We'll make sure to bring you back some cookies.
Thank you. If there won't be all, I will go and see if I can't find something that you can use to reduce the magical power of the item whenever you do find it.
Hmm.
And with that, he will leave the room through the exit in the back on the other side from where you guys come in. You all are left alone. Question does say, well, it was nice seeing you all, but I must be going. Owen wanted to be here just for your guys' first mission. Good luck. I believe in all of you.
Thank you. I don't really know how to plan this in character, but perhaps we could take different approaches, split up.
That worked really well last time.
No, I don't think quite as complex as that.
Can I be the auctioneer? Auctioneer?
I think they already have one of those.
Like, no, can I be the person with the paddle?
Yes.
I would also like to have my own paddle. We can raise the price against each other.
If we're going to attempt to turn up as buyers, we're going to need to find out more details. Can I suggest that perhaps I try and speak to the baker?
We do need to buy some cookies. We did promise.
Well, yes. It's just that if we go as a group like this, we're not very inconspicuous. And some of us are a little better at saying the right thing in the right time than others. And I'll sort of do anything that I can to control myself and not look at Binks. But yeah, and then I thought perhaps that maybe those more quietly inclined, and I'll gesture towards Binks and potentially Thea. I'm not sure. You became something small last time. I don't know if that's your vibe normally. But perhaps we might also make some quiet investigations. If we could simply remove the items from his house and walk off before any fight breaks out, for example. Then we don't even need to turn up at the auction. If you catch my drift.
I'm not a thief. I want to be a buyer.
Okay. Can I at least suggest that perhaps we don't... Even if I fail to convince him that I could be a buyer, then later on somebody else can make the same attempt. If we all go together, then once we fail, we fail.
Would it hurt Binks to have a look and see what there is before the auction, just so that we might be able to tell if they're holding something back, potentially? Hate to spend all our money on a big ticket item only to realize that it wasn't the biggest.
Well, if we don't want to buy the big ticket item, we could get lots of little ticket items.
Would you
Did
be willing
Owen give us money to use to...
500.
Why don't we just run away with that money? Go live in the countryside.
I don't think Binks genuinely thinks that. Does he? Really? Let's be real. We're on a mission here.
I've lived in the countryside a long time, and I didn't need money.
Would Binks be willing to scout?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's head over to this bakery.
Before you leave, Owen returns. He returns. He has a black bag. He sort of puts it on the table, and it, again, has some heft to it. He says, I realize that you may need more money, so I put another 1,000 in here. It is imperative that you get the item in question, at the very least. Should the auctioneer or the seller attempt to run, and you have to choose between it and the item, I would much rather prefer the item. We've been chasing after it for a while. So
Why would he run if we bought the item?
if you buy it, then yes, but should it get violent, then perhaps he runs to save his skin.
How do we know which is the right item?
From what I heard, it is a weapon of some kind. or at least it takes the shape of one.
Okay, we'll
All
see what
right.
we can do.
Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
do you just give 250 gold for any magic item?
Any item that comes from the auction specifically. I will say
Oh.
you cannot just give me any item. Nice try though. No one has thought of that yet.
Well, see, here's the thing, and I pull out the staff from the last mission. I don't really. You didn't really take this from me. I don't really want it. I hear it bites people's heads off. I don't like that.
If you want to give it to us, then I would be fine with. I will turn the other way, and we can consider it part of the magical items at the auction.
All right.
Basically, yes, he will pay for the item, just not right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, where does the party go? What does the party do?
Well, let's get somewhere near the bakery where we can see it, but perhaps we're not in the doorway.
Good
Alright.
call.
I'll say you guys make it to. You guys walk out with the bag, all the money that you were promised and given, everything. You start heading down the main street that Thea and Binks would know lead to the bakery. And you stop a little ways out. You can the smell of fresh baked goods begins to waft around you, and you know that you're.
Nice. This does smell good.
After a little bit more walking, the sun has started to beat down a little bit. It's about the temperature that you all have come to not be used to, but understand is like the normal temperature around. As you see the bakery, it's a quaint little mom and pop shop. It is called. Let me get that name for you.
I thought it sold baked goods, not parents.
It is called
What the hell?
Crooks. It's called
It's a
Crooks
mum
Bakery.
and pop shop, right?
Yeah, that means it's not a chain restaurant.
Oh, never
Mom
heard
and pop
that.
just means that it's like
Family-run
it's like
business.
a family owned.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
basically.
Cool.
Mhm.
Never heard that phrase.
I have before. I'm surprised you haven't.
I thought they were just selling parents.
Yeah,
All
they
the
also
orphans
there's
come
also a
with their
business
bill.
next to it that says "Buy your parents,"
Wow.
but it's called Crooks Bakery, and it has a picture of a nice warm apple pie on it
Cool.
as sort of the logo for it.
So, I'll turn to the group. And do you think I might go in and talk? See what I can find out?
Yes, going along. We'll wait out here.
Can we do that thing? And I'll gesture to my forehead and then like Thea's face.
Who's going in? And Binks or
No, I was just
Silas.
gonna go in and and see whether I can find out some details. But I wanted to be able to call you for help if necessary.
yeah, I'll listen in and I
Thank you.
connect.
Yeah. Xanis is meant to be good at this. James is not so good. Yeah, I guess I'll just sort of blasé wander in.
As you do, you are hit with the smell of so many different sweet goods. You smell Cinnabons, you smell fresh chocolate chips, you think of brownies, as well as just pies and cake, and it's all just wafting into your nose. Give me a constitution check.
Yeah, that's brilliant. This is gonna go well, guys. Constitution check?
Yes.
With a plus
Constitution.
4,
No,
that...
give me a saving throw.
A saving throw, okay, with a plus 7, that's a 9.
It's a 9. You feel yourself starting to be a little like mentally disarmed, if anything. The smell of all the sweet, fresh baked goods, and for a little bit, you kind of forget why you came in here.
Ah, donuts. I'll
Exactly.
buy a donut.
You as you sort of enter, and a little bell rings above your head. An orc comes out, wearing just a normal chef's uniform. He has the big chef's hat on. He says, "Ah, welcome. Good afternoon. How can I help you today?"
Smells really good.
Thank you.
Do you do
It is my
donuts?
own personal family recipe. Donuts. I
Mm.
do think I have a fresh batch
Oh,
of donuts. He comes back and he has a little tiny paper bag, and in it is a donut. And he says, "This is chocolate sprinkles. It just came out of the oven." And he says, "That'll be 5 coppers."
Sure. Thank you very much. And then I leave.
Of course.
No,
Is
I
there
don't.
anything else I can do?
Yeah, sorry, I was really thrown. I was expecting this to be like some dark, shady dealings place, and it's like this nice posh bakery. Is baking the only activity you conduct here?
Well, I will say I did dabble in a little bit of adventuring during some of my younger years. I've taken over the family business. And,
Adventuring, you say? You must have collected some wondrous things along the way.
At one point in time, I may have had some powerful items, or, as you said, wondrous things, but I've left that life behind me. And now I just serve baked goods to the wonderful city, and the patrons love it, so...
Does he seem quite relaxed, quite truthful?
Give me an insight check. But give me it, you're gonna -2 from your roll. You're still a little disoriented from the smell.
So that's a 16 plus 3 minus 2 for a 17. Could potentially guidance, but I don't really think it would make sense in the situation.
He seems truthful in the sense that he isn't like
He's
hiding.
not adventuring anymore.
He's not adventuring anymore. He is he is running the family business, and people do genuinely good. That's all you can sort of glean off of like that initial question.
I'll sort of lean on the counter a little disarmingly and sort of smile at him. And friend, I didn't only come for a donut. Word on the street says that one might purchase greater riches in a place like this. Though one might argue that this donut is riches enough. I'll take another bite and smile at him. But word on the street says otherwise.
Otherwise, well, that depends on what you're in the market for, friend. I sell cakes. I sell pies. I
just sort of smile at him and perhaps some items that are not on display to the general public. I'll sort of gesture towards my coin pouch, which I probably beforehand weighted a little bit with non-gold, just to make it look a little hefty, and sort of tap it and just sort of smile at him as an interested purchaser, an interested buyer.
Give me a persuasion check at, again, -2.
Okay, that's like good bad. Bear with me a second, I just want to see something. Because I know I am... Does it have to be a saving throw? It's an ability check that fails. Can I make an assumption that it fails? And use my...
I don't even know what the number is, James, so I can't tell you whether or not it passes or fails.
Yeah,
if you
so
want to use
it says
anything...
you can tap your inner wellspring of magic to try and conjure success from failure. When you make an ability check that fails, you can spend a sorcery point to reroll a d20. I rolled a 6, which with a +8 is still a 14, minus the 2 is a 12, but if I can spend the sorcery point to reroll, I will.
I won't tell you that you can't.
Cool, I'll reroll. That's much better. That is a 25, minus 2 is a 23. Feeling a little relieved. Just I had some donut in my teeth. It was distracting him, but I used my sorcery points to cleanse the donut from my face and not look like an idiot.
He'll sort of nod his head. He will, you catch a quick glance as he glances down at your coin purse, and he says, well, we unfortunately do close at 5 p.m. When a lot of the baked goods start to lose their freshness. So we close for about an hour or two to make sure that we can produce fresh items for the next day.
Would one need to put some money down in advance to secure their place in such competitive market? Or are we okay to...
Yes, if you want to make a reservation for a cake, he sort of pulls out a pad, and he sort of slyly slides it over to you, and you do see some names already written down there.
Okay. Do you... look around. Is there anybody else in the bakery?
Currently, there is not.
Might we speak a little plainly, friend? Do you auction the items yourself? I've heard that what you're selling is of real power, and we really do want to secure it. I have a couple of friends in the city who, well, let's just say that their funding will assist me in this endeavor. We are very interested.
He will sort of chuckle to himself, and he says, well, you best hope that no one else is looking for it, then.
But I'd be okay to bring along said friends for their funding.
All
They are
guests
excellent
are allowed.
at keeping secrets.
All guests are allowed one extra topping on their cakes.
Ooh, you got a +1.
So he's saying I can only bring one person with me?
You get the sense that that's what he's meaning in this coded.
I'll sort of smile at him and I'm afraid that we would have
We
far
can't
less to spend.
We can't have too many toppings on a cake. It would throw everything out of balance.
And yes,
And
too
one
interested.
flavor might vie for the attention of the eater.
However, I've heard that friendly competition really drives up the market price. Having more people interested in a cake would certainly raise its market value, do you not think? Especially if those that were interested had pockets lined with gold.
I'm sorry, sir, but there are the rules of the bakery.
While I'm chatting to him, can I sort of try and look around and see if there might be a instance where we might be able to sneak somebody in to have a look?
Give me a perception check.
Okay,
you
and
get a
with
sense
this,
of the
I'd like to sort of report everything I'm seeing to Thea, because I'm assuming that it would be either Thea or somebody else in the group, and Binks who would go in to try and do this. So, yeah, just trying to
so
give
give me
a
a
report. I
roll
don't know
on
why
that.
I've decided to reroll. 12 plus 0, so it's just a 12.
12. All right, so yeah, you're able to get a sense of the bakery. There's the display case right next to like the register. There is like a little like side entrance that you can go in, so that way, like, you know, if you're a worker and you have to come through the front entrance, you can go straight into the bakery. Right? You do get the briefest glimpse at what you think might be a back entrance. You're not sure though. And you relay all this to Thea sort of as you're.
Yep, but for the most part, it looks like if we want to investigate for stolen magical items, we'll need to create a distraction in the front room and then get through.
Possibly. You can't. Whoever designed the bakery did a good job of making sure there's a wall of like baked goods behind like the register, right? And so you can't really see into the back room, right? So you can't.
But
get
we'd
a good
assume that if
glimpse
there was more
of-
to the building,
yeah.
it would be through this front entrance.
Yes, or maybe back entrance that you
Okay,
think you
cool.
may have saw.
I'll mention that to Theron, but maybe they can make their own investigations outside to see if they can find a back entrance. Well, it's such a pleasure doing business with you, and I look
Of
forward
course,
to
sir.
more business.
Mate,
with you.
may you have good luck tonight with your cake selection.
Sometimes luck is less necessary than assurance. And I'll rest my hand in my coin pouch.
He'll sort of nod his head and he'll say, if you'll excuse me then, he'll head back into the back rooms.
He just leaves me in there alone?
You're in the front entrance, but
Can he see me when he goes into the back entrance? Does it
You
look
don't
like
know?
it can see me?
You can't see him.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Well, see you then, and I'll head out and cross over, and I will relay everything that's just happened in fine, perfect detail to the group, and then suggest that perhaps a couple of people might go in, one to distract, and so that Binks, with his invisible and unlimited powers, might be able to go wanderer. And then I'll mention the back entrance and see if perhaps we might look around for it. Unless they've already found it.
We will come to the rest of the party. What are you all doing while Xylus is in talking to the baker? Are you all doing anything, or are you just waiting?
Hmm.
I'm
I
just
think
waiting.
I would be waiting, doing very little.
Miles?
Where's Matt?
Yeah, I think we... Oh, no, we didn't lose Matt. Matt's
thought he
losing
died.
Matt.
Matt's taking a nap.
I am losing myself. That is very accurate.
Are you doing anything while Xylus?
No, I'm gonna let him take control of that.
Yeah, no, I'm out. We were just seeing whether we can find
Alright,
outside.
so then... Yeah, I
Aren't
was just-
Binks and Thea going in though later?
I will almost say to them, he says that there might be a back door. Maybe somebody wants to take a stroll just to check it out?
Together or by herself?
Quietly, so...
Well, you see, my armor gives me disadvantage on stealth checks, so
I don't know what that means.
Stealth check.
Yeah, I don't think... I don't think we know about these stealth checks. Besides, it's more of an
Hey,
inconspicuous check, right?
I'll gladly go look at these doors, these back rooms.
Alright, give me a stealth check, or as James betterly put it, inconspicuous check.
Six.
All right. Yeah, as you sort of try to attempt to do a lap around, you come across some what you think are geese. And they immediately start screaming at you and flapping. Basically when you try to go to the back side ish, there's like a stream, a little pond there, and there's a ton of geese there, and they're all being very territorial.
I immediately, as soon as the skis start making noise, I immediately just run.
To behind?
Away from the bakery.
Yep.
I don't care which direction, just away from the bakery.
Roll me a d8.
Oh no.
How many geese follow him?
We'll see.
Geese are mean.
Not Canada
That's a three.
geese.
That's
They're
a
very
3.
polite.
Alright, so yeah, you immediately start running directly back towards the party, but you just keep running past them, acting like you don't know them whatsoever. And it seems like a very wearing armor and wielding a greatsword is just jogging down the street. As you just keep running down the main path.
All right. Whenever the coast seems to be clear, I'm just gonna go back and join them.
Yeah, and to the rest of the party, none of the geese follow. You just heard a quack, and then you just saw
quack.
Miles booking it.
Oh,
Please don't
also,
quack. Please do not.
I wasn't running away to get from the geese. I was running away from getting caught. Just so we're clear.
That's what it looked like to us.
Head cannon, you ran away from the goose. The honk, I'm sorry, James.
So,
So you should be.
Binks? Do you wanna...
Yeah, I'll try going around instead.
Alright, give me an inconspicuous check, aka stealth check.
19.
Alright. You get around the corner, you see the exact same geese. and it seems as though just when they were starting to go back to normal, tuck their wings back in, one of them sees you, and then 3 start to. What do you do?
I'll use the jewel to turn myself invisible.
All right, so you disappear, and you see like, if geese could have like a stunned and like dumbfounded face, they do, as it's just like they all start turning their head towards you, and you are able to get around them. Give me a dex check, as there are just a lot of geese in the back, so just try not to bundle them.
That's a nat 1 for a 6.
Alright, so as soon as you go invisible and take a step, you immediately step on one of the geese's foot, and it starts honking and screaming, but it doesn't know where you are, and it starts like spinning around and basically trying to get as big as it can, right? And it does manage to sort of like hit you and bump into you, but it doesn't realize. But all of the geese start screaming and like honking and like trying to like figure out where the hell you are, but they can't.
I'll pick up like a nearby rock or something, and I'll throw it so that sound attracts the geese.
All right. Yeah. As soon as you do that, all of them turn towards it, and they all book it towards that sound. And you are left with a clear path.
And I'll head on into the back of the bakery, I guess.
Yeah. So as you get there, you do find like a steel door sitting there, right? And as you attempt to sort of like grab the handle and try to open it, you hear like a click, and you assume that it's locked as you try to like wiggle the door handle, but nothing happens.
Are there any like nearby fake rocks that could have the key in it?
You don't see a keyhole on it. But from what you can guess, it is most likely that it just locks from the inside, and that whoever does it just unlocks it. Like whoever has the morning shift just unlocks it, and then
Okay. Then I guess with the invisibility on, I would like, if someone goes into the bakery with me whilst I'm invisible, if they can distract the baker, then I could try and sneak into the back room that way.
That was the original plan. You were only meant to be having a look and seeing if there was a back door.
Okay, well, sure.
yeah. So as Binks, you sort of figure out that the door is locked. You can't really get in. You sort of circle back, and then you all decide to, someone goes in there, distracts the baker, while Binks is still invisible, and he can do it. It's only been a few minutes, so you still got some time on your invisibility. Who is going in?
Did I go with Binks? And Miles and Toby could distract?
Distract from where, though? Aren't we just going to wait outside?
Well, an invisible person opening a door.
Yeah, but not if anyone sees it open.
I think there's a bell.
Silas, when you went in, there was a bell.
Yeah. But Thea wasn't trying to hide the fact that she was going in the front door. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Hello. How are you? Was she?
I was thinking that if I was going with Binks, he'd be invisible.
Yeah.
I was thinking of being a small held creature.
Oh, I see. So you were also gonna go in sneakily. You weren't gonna be. So somebody needs to go in to like actually open the door and be the buyer of cookies.
That was the thought.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think the robot can buy cookies. That will look really conspicuous. So we might need to send the other one. And obviously, Miles, at that point, maybe you could go in, potentially buy cookies, and then inquire about being a separate buyer.
Yeah, I'll do that.
If Miles can get a +1, then we can get 5 of us into the auction, right? Just in case trouble goes down. We don't want to not have all of us. How small a held creature can you be? Can you be like a mouse?
It could be.
I wasn't telling you to be a mouse. I was just wondering whether, like, you were pocketable, right? When it comes to getting into the auction later on.
I mean, a small cat is also pocketable.
Yeah, that works. Depends on
What's
size
the
of
name?
pockets.
Darth, what's the name of the sketchy area we were in when Toby got arrested? That district?
The Sand Herald District.
Sand Herald, Sun Helm, same shit.
Got it. All right, I have my plan.
Good luck. As you go in, Miles, it'll only last a minute. Actually, hold on. Can I do this? Wait.
While he's figuring that out, I'm going to start ritual casting Detect Magic.
Hold the fucking telephone.
Alright.
No, okay, I can't do that one, but I can do this one. I will tap you on the shoulder and I will say good luck, friend, and give you guidance. So for the next minute, the first ability check you make will have a +4. I don't know if you'll make ability check in the first minute, but I don't know. Maybe you can look prettier or something.
Alright, so I'm assuming everyone's gonna wait until Thea finishes ritual casting, so she can then shape.
I'll also wait with the guidance till she's finished ritual casting and wild shaping.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll pop a Detect Magic, change it to a cat, wait for Binks to pick me up because I can't see him.
Before you shape, you get a sense of immense magic emanating from the bakery.
Oh.
Like,
Whoa.
it is significant in the sense that it's like whenever you have a pure white wall and then there's one black dot, that black dot is really noticeable because everything else is white. And that's what it is. It's that because you all are on the main road and there's not much magical or anything around you. So this seems super noticeable. There's a lot of magic coming from this shop.
And I have left.
You sense little to no magic coming from Xylus.
Xylus is a god of magic. Don't be ridiculous.
Your ancestors are a god of magic.
Okay, there's a lot of magic there. I'm going to link my mind with Binks and then turn into a cat. Small cat.
Those don't
Turn
look
into
magical,
cat.
to be fair.
Now, I have a question about how invisibility works with this. Because invisibility wouldn't necessarily turn Thea immediately invisible, so it would just be a floating cat walking around. So do you
anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible, as long as it's on the target's person.
Now, does that automatically...
Nice try, DM.
That's the DM call.
I mean, if I have to recast it, I will. It's just wasting another charge.
I will say you will have to recast it, just because the idea of being invisible and then immediately being touched. It makes sense if you're holding an object when you cast it, but just any object touch just seems weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you pick up.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you can go with that, but that is separating away from the rules. It is any object. If you go into the full rules, it's any object carried by somebody casting invisibility turns invisible. I don't think we can objectify Thea, even if she does turn into a cat. She's not an object. She's a creature.
That's true. She is a creature.
However, can I
What
just
if I'm
ask?
in a pocket?
Can I just ask? Is there anything on the Jewel of 3 Prize that says you can't cast invisibility on someone else? Because at that point, couldn't you have just touched the orb to Thea and made her
I will
invisible?
say, if you want to expend more charges, that you can cast it. If you expend 2 extra charges.
Well, he wouldn't have had to recast it on himself.
No, that's what I mean. Instead of recasting himself, could he have just cast it on Thea? Go on, Josh.
I was gonna say it will still cost extra charges though to spread the jewel's magic out.
All it says is that you can expend 1 charge to cast the invisibility spell.
All right. Well, if that's what it says, then yeah. Concentration and what it rules written doesn't matter. I'll let it slide.
I just wanted to qualify that, like, invisibility, genuinely, you can't just pick somebody up. Because otherwise, right, if an orc was invisible and they pick up a halfling, then they become invisible. And if the halfling's carrying a cat, and the cat is carrying a mouse, and the mouse is carrying a worm, then they all become, like, no.
No.
It's
not that. It's more of a sense that I'm pretty sure invisibility is a constant spell. So that means to cast it, right, I'm pretty sure you can't upcast it. Which is
can upcast it. The more when you upcast it, you can choose more people to.
No, he means your jewel can't upcast it.
Oh yeah, no, it can't. No.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's going to cost an extra charge, not just.
That's a good way of doing it.
Spend it, just because I'm not going to get into the whole.
I'm absolutely fine with this whole shenanigans, but is there any reason why you're not just going in Miles's pocket?
Well, here's the thing. If I can just walk, I could just stealthily walk in as a cat and just go toward the back, and if I get caught, I get caught.
Yeah, and that way we're separating out the three entities, right? Meanwhile, by the way, while I've got Toby outside, I'm going to see what games of cards and chance he knows and see whether I can win all his money off of him. But we don't need to roll.
You lose all of them. Anyway. Give me... Binks, give me a stealth check with advantage. Thea, give me a stealth check? A stealth check. And Miles, give me a general charisma check just to sort of play everything off that you're not walking in with a cat by your side and an invisible cat.
A charisma check? I thought I'm just walking in a front door, like I'm buying.
Well, no, it's more of just to keep your composure, right? Because I'm assuming Xylus said what happened when he went in. How he felt like a little delirious because of the baked goods and stuff like that. So basically, that you're steeling yourself, preparing yourself, that way it doesn't happen. If that makes sense.
This might be metagaming, or not metagaming. This might be game rule breaking, but Miles doesn't get he doesn't lose his composure, unless an actual magical effect, just like personality.
All right.
If you'll allow that, that's just his personality,
He has been pretending to be good all of this time without dropping his persona.
I will say,
once.
if Miles doesn't think he needs to prepare himself or anything like that, you think I'll say that's perfectly fine. Just because I don't want to reveal anything. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm not going in worried or anything.
All right, perfectly fine. As you enter, however, you sort of are just your normal, natural self. You get hit with the exact same smells as before. And now with the door open, and Thea, you can see inside, almost every single one of the baked goods in here is radiating magical energy. And Miles, I am going to need a Constitution saving throw.
You can't use guidance on a save either.
It was close to a better number, and then it moved the last second.
All right. Very similar to what happened with Xylus. You just inhale all the smells and all of the nostalgia of childhood rushing back, and for the splittest second, you begin to lose yourself a little bit. Before I keep going, can I have the stealth check from Binks and Thea? What'd you guys get?
21.
18.
All right. I will need Constitution saving throws from both of you as well, as you enter in and you smell the baked goods. But Miles, you begin to a little bit of an extent, become foggy, start to forget why you're why did I come in here? And just the baked goods are they smell so good.
How long is it until the actual auction? How? Is that in hours from now?
A couple of hours.
Well, Xylus was told that the store closes at 5 for making of baked goods.
And we met with Cobble Tour in the afternoon, so it's fair to say it's probably 4 o'clock now, right?
Yeah, it's 3:30ish. It's getting close to 4. The con saves?
16.
All right. Yep. both of you are able to sort of prepare yourselves, and as you smell it, they both smell really good. But you've come in here a couple times, right? Doesn't seem to be as strong as it. The scent still smells really good, but you lose yourself, like you did like the first time you came in here, and you're still able to keep your mind straight. As Miles, as you enter, the orc comes out of the back. He says, "Oh, why, hello there. How can I help you?"
Or just like a dozen of your best cookies.
Dozen cookies. Any kind in particular, or
Chocolate chip.
12 chocolate chip cookies? Luckily for you, I just finished a fresh batch. As he goes in back. Thea and Binks, what are you doing?
I guess see if there is a door that leads to the back room, and seeing if it, is like, one of those swinging doors in restaurants, or if it's like an actual door. And trying to figure out how obvious it's going to be to try and get back there.
Well, when you walk in and when you see two entrances to go in back. There's one on the far left that you'd have to like walk down, like the back area where the cashier usually is and where all the baked goods you can grab them from. You'd have to go down to get into there, or there's one sort of next to the register. But you did see the baker and the orc. Baker and the orc. You saw the orc go back using that entrance. And both sides just have little tiny like swinging doors, so it's not like a full door. It's like a little smaller, scaled down. You just have to like take it, push it open, get into the back area, and then you'd be able to just go through the openings into the back.
I think I'll go for the one that's down the way and not so close to the register. Hopefully they won't notice that door opening or anything.
Alright,
Close.
Is it like a floor-to-ceiling swinging door, or is there a gap?
No. There's a little tiny gap, big enough for a cat, for instance, to be able to just like walk under and fit through. But the other side is a little bit of a Binks, you're able to open it and be able to slip past. And as you sort of enter the back, the baker starting to come back to the front entrance. So you're in the back. So you basically just switched. He's in the front with Miles. You're in the back. What does Thea do?
I can't see him, but I am communicating with Binks, so I'm kind of staying with him, staying in the same area.
You follow Binks then?
Yeah.
As you try to go to the door, a cat sort of like out of mist like appears and sort of like jumps in front of you, starts meowing and like baring its fangs.
Tilt my ears back and I hiss back.
This cat is sort of like standing and it's blocking your way to try to get into the back. And as the orc baker sort of comes back, he says, "Oh, Jasmine, what do you have? Oh, excuse me, sir. Is that your cat?" He says this to you, Miles.
No, I don't own a cat.
How strange.
I'm gonna hiss and like take a swipe at the cat that I can't really tell is corporeal.
Yeah, as you do, it's sort of like your hand. It's like going through like mist. It just like it kind of disappears, and the cat just sort of keeps sitting there hissing at you, blocking the way. And it seems as though when you sort of that it's intangible, but it's not supposed to be like a physical stop. It's supposed to be letting whoever's working know that something is trying to get into the back, basically.
I'm gonna like still trying to emulate cat behavior. I'm gonna like circle around the cat, still facing it, and like back away, but I'm backing toward the baker.
Yeah, so
intending to and eventually accidentally bump into him, quote unquote, accidentally.
Yeah, so the baker is behind. Like you weren't even able to get like behind where like the wall of baked goods are, that where like the back door is, right? So like where the register is, you could back up towards that, but you won't hit the bake.
Or you couldn't even go back behind the counter before that happened.
Yeah, like the cat.
Gotcha.
Like as soon as Binks opened it and went, and you tried to follow him, the cat appeared. You get the sense that it sort of monitors, making sure no like rodents or anything gets, you know, in the store in the back where all the ingredients and stuff like that are.
Okay, then I'm gonna back away from the other cat, and like as soon as I break line of sight, I'm gonna run toward where the door is, and then make confused cat yowling noises because the door that I came in is closed now.
The front door. The baker will sort of smile, and he'll retrieve just some like a bowl of milk, stuff like that, and he'll put it on the ground for you, and he'll says, there, we'll find your owner. But let me finish with this customer. And he returns to you, Miles. He says, that'll be 1 silver then.
I will give him a silver. And as I hand him the silver, I'm just gonna start talking. Just be like, you know, you should be a little more tight-lipped about the things you have going on in your private life.
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Well, I was walking through what's it called? I was walking through the Sandhill district earlier, and I heard murmurs of an event going on here later. I say this like kind of quietly.
And
So
you
the
think that the murmurs and the rumors of the shady folk in the Sandhill district is to be believed? You would believe the words of thieves and thugs.
Well, not everyone there is as advertised, and I'm not here for any reason other than to say I want in.
He will sort of stiffen his back a little bit, and he'll say, I have no idea what you mean, sir. I'm only a seller of baked goods.
I'm gonna laugh a little bit, actually, just laugh, and like not like mocking him, just like a small little laugh, and just be like, look, we don't have to play this game. I know you have certain items that you're trying to get rid of later, and I have the money to pay for what you have.
He will sort of pull out a little like clipboard. He'll say, unfortunately, sir, the last reservation spot was just given out earlier to a customer. Unfortunately, this is a day-by-day basis, so I cannot get you in for another cake reservation tomorrow.
What if
I'm gonna attempt to jump up on one of the displays, and I'm just gonna knock a bunch of stuff over accidentally as I try to climb up.
As you attempt to, you kind of feel like you hit like a wall, but like an invisible sort of wall as you attempt to try to like get up it, and you aren't able to actually get up onto it. And the orc sort of narrows his eyes a little bit, and he says, excuse me, sir, and he will sort of step out from behind the counter, and he will attempt to grab you, Thea.
Yeah, I will freak out, and I will run, and I will knock over the milk bowl that he set down.
We'll leave you there, and we'll go to Binks. You're in the back. This is pre cat freak out. So, what are you doing? What are you looking for?
I suppose I'm kind of scouting out to see if there's any other additional rooms or anything like that here. And then I suppose any cabinets or anything like that might hide evidence that the baker's in the shady business.
All right. As you sort of go back, you see it seems very plainly to anyone who's not looking for anything. Give me an investigation check.
$16.
All right. Pretty quickly, as again, it seems as though whatever is being hidden it is invisible to those who aren't actively seeking it. As you sort of start like going through some of the cabinets pretty quietly, you are able to find a little button. Do you press it?
Yes.
All right. As you do, you start to hear like creaking as the floor next to you begins to like open up and descend downwards. Right around that time, Cat Thea starts freaking out, and so you do hear commotion coming from the front, and it seems as though it is, to an extent, distracting him enough that he doesn't immediately notice anything's going on in the back.
Right, then I'll head down.
All right. As you begin to head down, it does start to get a little bit dark, but not dark enough that you can't see, just a lot more dim, stuff like that. You are able to find sort of, it's not very big. There is a little entrance with about 6 seats already sort of set up with like a stand at the very front, and a little desk also there. And there's a curtain that goes into what you assume is like a farther back area.
I'll go through the curtain.
As you do, you find 3 chests, all of them locked with many chains and a giant like padlock on them. And then you see one more that is even more like, you see an additional chest sort of off in the corner. It is more ornate, but it seems as though like the wood has decayed and it is now a dark red.
I'll use my hands to try and chip away at the rotted away wood, to try and get into that chest.
Right. You are able to almost like, you're able to easily sort of like poke at it, as like as soon as you just like touch it, it begins to just fall apart, and the parts that you touch begin to fall apart and crumble. But I will need I will need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Nat 1 for 3.
Immediately, you feel tired as your sort of left hand, from like the invisibility, like you can still, see yourself. Your left hand immediately starts getting like red veins, or like little arms, like vines start crawling up your, as it immediately starts to, like itch, and it starts like searing pain into your, you feel like you've just walked thousands, and you're just completely, you're not like ready to like pass out, but it's like noticeably you feel like you've a lot more. Take a point of exhaustion. You are able to, though, sort of poke it out enough that you're able to see inside of it, and you see how do I describe this? You see like a blood red object in there, and it is sort of, the smell immediately smells like, it smells like sulfur. It smells like earthy, as you get the immediate sense, especially with the jewel, you get the immediate sense that whatever it is dark, it is powerful, and it should not exist in this world.
Okay. Does it seem like if I try and take it with me that like I will like this stuff will like spread, or is it like a one-time effects?
Give me either a history check or a medicine check to see if you've ever learned about anything like this in your time in the monastery, or like medically speaking, know anything that like could lead you to like an outcome.
There's a 23 on a medicine.
You have seen this once before, and you recognize it as what you've known as the Red Corruption, and it is part of the reason why you and Xylus were sent out in the first place. You believe that this is the sickness that was being told to you by the monks at the monastery who asked you to go investigate it. From what you do know, though, with that medicine check, the person who came to the monks to like seek healing, to try to heal it, you were able to sort of heal like the heaviness and like the weightness. You were able to treat the symptoms basically, but you know the monks said that it doesn't go away. That once you have it, it only gets worse. And you and Xylus were both sent out to figure out a way to.
Does that mean that I now have it?
You do.
Oops.
Sorry, and my brain's gone blank. What is the actual thing in the chest that's causing it?
You believe that whatever like this artifact is seeping out this like energy, and it completely rotted away. And when you sort of touched, it started to transfer to you.
Right. Okay. Is there any like container or cloth or anything like that around?
Not anything that you could immediately like set up and like use to like hide it. Basically, it seems as though it was in this chest specifically as like a keep away hiding place, and it doesn't like a blanket or anything like that you could wrap it up in. And
don't know about anybody else, Duff, but you're cutting out constantly for me. It's like your sensitivity's up or something. It just keeps cutting off words. And I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, let me just check my voice settings real quick.
Cool, you said it's something about it seems like the chest, and then I didn't get the last bit.
My sensitivity seems fine. I'll speak up and try and speak into the mic more. What I said was that it seems like the chest was meant to be its container. It doesn't seem like a blanket or like a towel or anything you could use to like wrap it up and try to bring it out with.
Right, because I mean, I don't mind spending another like ending the invisibility and then wasting another charge to try and carry it out whilst being invisible. But the chest that it's currently in is so damaged that me trying to like break it open quietly did enough for it to like break away. So obviously that chest isn't viable.
Well, I'll say this: you don't know how long it's been in the chest, so it could have been in there for like a couple hours. Or it could have been in there for like a month or two and caused this to happen. So
right. Well, that's why I wanted to see if there was another container I could either put it in or some cloth that I could wrap it in. But you know what? Since I'm already diseased, I'm just gonna end the invisibility, pick the artifacts up in my hand, and then just go invisible again.
All right. Give me a charisma check. Pick up.
That's 9.
as you attempt to pick it up, you feel feedback from the jewel, sort of like jolt it out of your hands. You are unable to pick it up. And I will say, just, a little bit for free, it didn't seem as though it was like a, like a positive negative charge. It seems as though the jewel was like protecting you from something.
Okay, I'll just take my bedroll out of my backpack, and I'll take the blanket that it comes in, and I'll use that to pick it up.
Give me another charisma check as you attempt to pick it up again.
16.
All right. You do feel the jewel attempt to sort of get it out of your hands again, but you are able to hold it, and you are able to recast invisibility. As you do this, however, the creaking that you heard when when the stairs started to descend downwards, you're starting to hear that again. So you have do with that what you will.
I suppose, I'm invisible, so I suppose I'll just stand in a place in the room where it's not likely for someone who's going to come down to walk past. Like, I won't stand next to a door or anything like that.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of misphrased that. It's going back up.
Oh, then I'll quickly try and get up before it closes.
Alright, so we'll leave you there for now. We'll go back to Thea and Miles. Thea, you start to freak out. You knock the milk over, starts spilling everywhere. Jasmine, the ethereal cat, sort of reappears, and starts hissing at you again. And the orc kind of attempts to grab you by like your neck, lift you up a little bit.
I'm doing that cat freak out thing where I'm leaping super high, just in every direction because I'm pretty freaking terrified of everything. I'm gonna try to put myself in a position in front of Miles.
Give me an acrobatics check as you're just bouncing around.
Cat's acrobatics +2. 15.
You are able to bounce around for a decent bit as the orc tries to grab you, but as you try to jump back and land in front of Miles, snatch you up quick. But you do start scratching his walk toward.
Duff,
you broke up.
We heard
2/3 of your sentence.
Here.
I think that I was grabbed by the orc.
Let me try some.
Bye.
Oops. Hello.
Trying to leave, come back. Can you guys hear me better now?
Maybe.
Time will tell.
Your sound quality is perfect. It's just every now and again, it's just it disappears and comes back.
Do you have your noise suppression on?
I think I do.
That thing's
Try
a pile of
turning that
junk.
off if you need to.
Okay, well, my mic is picking up my audio, so...
Yeah, keep going. It's just we didn't hear that sentence.
Yeah. Alright, so, Thea, you're able to bounce around for a little bit, but as you try to get in front of Miles, the orc is able to sort of grab you by your neck and begins to lead you towards the exit.
As a panicked cat, I would have tried to scratch his arm to try to get down to the floor.
Give me an attack roll.
What's the cat's attack?
It's not good.
+0 to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's
That's
not good.
17.
Ooh.
That's I don't even know if that's high enough, but it's a good roll.
Unfortunately, it's sort of, as you attempt to scratch into his arm to get him to let you go, if anything, his grip starts to tighten more, and he opens the door and he kind of just throws you out, and then he immediately closes it.
I'm just gonna sprint away.
All right, Miles, he turns back to you and he says, "I'm sorry about that, sir. Where were we?"
That is not your fault at all. Okay. But as of we were, you were telling me how there are only limited spots for tonight.
Yes. Unfortunately, I have booked myself completely on the cake making and the cake reservation spots. So if you want a chance at getting your own cake, you'll have to come back tomorrow, I'm afraid.
There's a slight problem with that. There's one specific item I was made aware of that isn't here tomorrow.
You are correct. A lot of our cakes do sell out very quickly. Unfortunately, however, there is nothing I can do.
There is one way actually I know of that where another slot will open up.
And what is that?
I put 10 gold on the counter.
He laughs in your face.
10 gold! Best bribe.
I put another 20. Now there's 30 gold on the counter.
Sir, no amount of bribery will get you another cake spot. I only have so many employees and so much time to be able to make all of the cakes necessary for reservations.
Can't blame a man for trying though, right? That's a point.
No, I can't. I can't blame a man for trying, but if you want to put your name down for tomorrow, that'll be fine.
What if one of the people on this list doesn't show up? Could I take their spot?
Perhaps. I cannot promise that, as I have never had a time where someone didn't show up for their cake, especially considering it is custom made, but I will say if they are not here by 6 p.m., then I will give you the spot, and I will start working on a cake for you.
Fantastic. And if that spot doesn't open up, it's all good. I'll be back tomorrow in that case.
I will put you down for tomorrow then, should that spot not open up as you said.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else I can help you with?
Nope, I'm good with these cookies. And I will walk out.
As the bell sort of rings, we go back to Binks as it's going up, and you get to the top. You turn to try to go back the entrance that you came, and you see the orc is standing there, as his face immediately begins to flare up. So who opened that blast door?
I guess I'll step out of the way of the doorway, assuming that he's gonna then go into that room. And I suppose I'll start looking around for the door that leads outside to the back.
You step out of the way. He runs up to the cabinet where you found the button, and he presses it again as it starts to go down. He immediately descends. The cat does appear and begin to follow him as well. You're able to navigate around some of the equipment, not touching anything, not making any noise, and you come to what you assume is the back door that you saw on the outside. But you see glyphs and many locks on it.
Okay. Then I will instead I'll just go out the front way then.
As
I'll,
you decide,
I'll try and slowly open the door to the store, and then as soon as my body's a little bit in the room, I'll just bolt for the front door.
yeah. So as you go to the front, you hear from behind you. You hear like screaming and rage as you begin to hear him start to come back up, right? And you're able to sort of open the door. The bell rings, and you're able to, like, before you start running out, you catch the faintest glimpse of him, and he is furious as he like jumps over the counter and tries to go out the door, but you are already gone. Where are you going?
Uh, I guess just to find the party wherever they've disappeared to. If I can still speak to Thea, I guess I'll ask her where they are or where she is.
So I probably would have run out past Toby and Xylus.
Toby and I
They've
haven't
seen me
moved.
running.
We've been engaged
We
in
are
a
still in the
furious
same place.
game of cards.
I like to imagine you're just sitting there T-posing on the main road.
Toby lost all his
Yes.
possessions.
So did this happen
Established
right after I
dominance.
left?
It happened like about 5 minutes after you left.
Got it.
But Binks, as you try to make your way back, the orc bursts out of the front door, right? And Miles, you see him, and he begins scanning everywhere around him. But he quickly sort of recomposes himself. He breathes in, and he goes back inside. And you are all the party's able to reconvene.
Great.
What do you wish to do?
Xylus will sort of look to Miles and, did you book a ticket?
Well, it seems like you took the last spot.
Was Binks telling me what you saw in the basement, the chests?
Yeah, I would have dropped invisibility and told them what I found down there, and I'd unwrap the blanket and show them the artifact.
You all immediately begin the stench of sulfur in the air, as it just smells terrible, and all of you notice immediately Binks's hand and the red rash starting to crawl its way
Hey.
slowly up his arm.
Hey, what
I
have you done to
believe
yourself?
you need a doctor.
Oh. Here, let's ask the Everlight for guidance. And I'll place my hand sort of over his, but not actually touch the red. And then, I'll take his elbow with the other hand, and I will attempt to remove any disease or poison, expending 5 points of lay on hands.
I want to help Binks, but we need to alert the guards about the items in the basement. We have
we?
the important item.
We have it?
We don't know what else is.
Shit, of course
He said.
sorry.
Owen said this was
That's...
disease and danger. But we don't know what else he has. It could be dangerous. We need to tell the guards now before he gets rid of it.
Is that what happened when I was making a hot dog? Because when I left, Binks had made a charisma check and not been able to pick it up. He's got the weapon with him?
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
Oh,
he had
how
to,
did I
yeah.
miss the only crucial piece of information in this entire 3 hours?
Banks
Cool.
did a very great job.
Okay. Well, yeah, the lay on hands is instant. It's 6 seconds, so I will do that first because Binks' health is more interesting than anything else.
You feel pushback as the lay on hands isn't used, and you feel the Everlight basically saying, "There's nothing I can do."
Okay, I'll sort of put my arm on his shoulder and that's right. It's okay. I've never been the best at the healing anyway. Come on, let's get you somewhere to a temple. Binks, we need to put that sword away.
Xylus, you know this can't be cured.
Cured?
Silas,
No. Neutralized? Maybe.
I will say, with the lay on hands, you are able to realize what it is, and that. Yeah, you're able to. The Everlight basically tells you, this is what you were sent out to find.
No, we don't talk anymore. Yeah, we don't talk anymore. I'm not getting on with. I'm not having that. Don't worry. I just, not be cured is. But that's. I mean, there are levels, right? Maybe it's something that can be accepted, or it can become part of you, or it can be neutralized. Or, we'll be absolutely fine. Come on, let's. Maybe the Cobalt Soul will know something about it. Let's go there. Oh, yeah.
Miles, Toby, somebody needs to alert the guard.
What, the guard of what?
Of the man and with the blackmarket bakery. Every baked good in there is magical, and I know it smelled magical and it was delicious, and I'm not gonna have any cake anymore. But it's really bad.
I got cookies, don't worry.
I'll say that you're able to, I'll explain a little bit of the magic. It wasn't a sense of all of the baked goods are evil. You just tell that there's a little bit of magic sprinkled on to entice you more, and then you also sense, and you also came in contact with just magical barriers that prevent people from just like taking them and running and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like the baked goods emanated evil magic to you. It just seems as though he was maybe participating in a little bit of shady bakery business, but
Fair enough,
nothing
but
that-
there's still at least 3 chests worth of magical items in the basement that
Are you
he's planning to sell that I don't know what they could do, so I want to alert the guards.
Do you want to alert the guards, or perhaps we could attend this auction and make sure that we can catch those who are involved in the trading of it as well, no?
Do you think he would continue with the auction without his big ticket item?
I suppose that is true. Yeah, you're right.
And considering what has been revealed to us about the condition of our dear friend here, I think we have more pressing matters to attend to.
Can
I just don't want anybody else getting hurt.
Yeah, we can.
I want to take it out of our hands and put it in somebody else's.
There'll be guards around. If we can't alert the guards, we just cast fireball on the bakery, right? That'll get their attention. I can't cast fireball. It's only her that can cast fireball. Let's still do a guard on the way, but Xylus is ignoring all of that and just constantly talking to Binks and being like, "Yeah, there's loads of ways we can deal with this. You know, we can neutralize
Yeah, I'm looking for a guard.
etc."
Give me an investigation check then. See if you can't find a guard in the like immediate area.
10.
You're unable to locate any guards, but at the same time, you're also like your mind's like just like a little bit like you're a little bit scatterbrained right now, as just there's so many things happening. There's still, you know, all of the things happen with the black market. We got to get rid of this. Binks has some weird new thing.
I wonder. This may be a terrible idea.
It's a
I have
terrible
wand
idea.
I have a wand of lightning bolts. It could be used as a beacon at 3rd level.
It's a terrible
That
idea.
would certainly bring guards.
It's a terrible idea.
It's a terrible
It's
idea.
not quite
You're
as bad
correct.
as casting fireball on the bakery, but it's.
Do you want to go back to jail?
We
How
need
about
a
this?
way to contact the guards
Hold on.
immediately.
I'll produce a flame in my hand and chuck it up in the air.
Why?
You wait, it's just produce flame, correct?
Just produce flame.
All right. As that sort of goes in the air, you hear like some folks off, like in the distance, like on like the other side of the park. They all go like not like like screaming, but like, you know, they think it's like a fire. Yeah, they think it's like a firework. As it sort of just goes into the air and then just dissipates. Nothing happens though.
Look, we
Let's
can't.
heck with the bakery.
Hold on. Well, sure, we will find a guard on the way to the Cobble Tour. Like, nobody's about to explode, as far as we know, right? Apart from Binks, who might be in immediate danger. Do we need a guard that urgently?
We're okay for now.
Let's go.
Considering that if what you said is true and they've lost their big ticket item, then there is perhaps a chance they disperse, yes?
Well, yes,
I
but
mean-
not instantly.
I guess it's true, this is not the most urgent of things. Right now, we should be moving.
Until we have confirmation, let's just proceed as planned. Xylus will go to the auction and see what happens.
We don't.
I don't think Xylus is going anywhere
no.
at the moment.
No, but let's just let a guard know on the way to the Cobble Tour. There's been guards all over this city. We're not going to not find one. Right?
I think everyone needs to relax. And does anyone want a cookie?
Xylus sort of it turns around to yell at you, and then it's like, I would quite like a cookie.
I will give
As you eat the
Xylus a cookie.
Yeah, as you eat the cookie, sort of all of your troubles begin to melt away as like the chocolate chips start. to just,
I'm
like,
sort
melt
of
in your
no,
mouth a
I'm not
bit.
eating the cookie. I'm sort of shoveling bits of cookie at Binks, like arm around him, like trying to make him better with a cookie.
Mhm.
Come on, Binks. It's okay. Come on.
Alright, yeah. You guys are able to start making your way back towards the Cobalt Soul.
We're looking for a guard on the way.
Yeah, you're looking for a guard on the way. Unfortunately, you don't find any like on patrol walking around, and like the three you find are currently like talking to like another citizen.
Great.
So
They'll
if you
do.
want to, Yeah.
Okay.
So if, I was about to say, if you want to wait or interrupt
Nope,
them,
I will cast Mage Hand and I will poke him in the side of the head with it.
he will turn his head to you and he'll say,
And I'll wave, urgently.
He, you see the expression of annoyance switch to a serious face, and as he marches over to you and says, "What do you need?"
My companion's ill, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to let you know, and then I'll explain. We're investigating on behalf of the Cobble Soul this bakery. We've taken the item, it's caused trouble for Binks, and you need to get there now before he disappears. Good luck. If you want to ask any further questions, we'll be at the Cobble Soul.
As soon as you say that, he immediately starts running off.
Yep.
And you do hear him start blowing a whistle.
Cool.
And some other guards you can see just in alleys and stuff like that start running after him as well.
Did I miss something? Is Binks dying?
Yes.
Yes.
I thought he was okay.
No, he's got red shit crawling up his arm, and it's diseased, and he's gonna die of exhaustion, and I don't know. We don't know.
I thought he had one level of exhaustion.
Yeah, but
he does have one level of exhaustion, but he also has something else.
He'll be a really shit monk if we have to chop one arm off.
Oh, it's a free tattoo.
Anyways, you guys are able to make it back to the Cobalt Soul. As you do, you Owen is out there waiting for you guys, and he stops you from entering the front entrance, and he's just and he leads you to a back entrance. As you guys are taken to a basement area, and he says, "What happened? All of the guards started to mobilize on the bakery. What did you all do?"
We've got your stupid artifact, and I'll gesture towards Binks' arm.
You touched the artifact without protection?
I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I'm gonna do it on Binks.
As he sort of says that, you get the sense that at first it's he's angry at you guys, but then he sort of stops and he says, "I'm sorry. I should have warned you not to touch it. This is my fault, and I apologize for that."
I'm not interested in your excuses. I'm interested in your solutions.
I was going to offer. He would say, "Hand me the artifact."
I'll hand it over.
And he will immediately sort of mage hand grab it and start maneuvering it. Basically he's using mage hands to create a tong to hold it as he's lifting it over, and he puts it into a sealed chest and it closes it, and he'll say, "I will deal with that later. Let me see your arm, Binks." And he sort of moves, brings you over to an examination table, and he asks you to put your arm out.
I will not.
What?
Binks, I need to see it so that way I can see how bad it is.
Well, we already know what it is. There's nothing we can do for it.
Of course there's something we can do for it. Put your arm on the table. Come on. There's always solutions. You know that.
No, but there really isn't.
We'll find a solution. Put your arm out. He owes you a solution.
Binks, I am asking to attempt to make amends for the mistake that I've made. Please.
No, but out of character, there's nothing they can do for it, right?
Xylus is determined that you will at least try. Even
I will say that in this situation,
angry.
That with Binks's knowledge, that's what he knows. He knows that the monks couldn't do anything. So I don't know if Binks would be hesitant. He might be hesitant to let the Cobalt Soul do it because he's suspicious of them, but I don't think Binks would be nothing can happen, nothing can do it, because you only know the information from the monks. And since they practice different forms of magic, they might have a solution.
I don't trust them enough to let them.
Do you trust Xylus enough? What can they do?
I trust that Xylus is panicked and upset, and so...
Binks, I only wish to help you in this moment. And he says, if you want, I will put myself under a vow and a zone of truth to say this. To do everything I can to attempt to help you.
No.
Binks, take the leap of faith.
That's my decision. No.
And
All right then.
Binks,
If
you're
I
gonna
may,
die. Binks,
Binks.
you're going to die.
He will sort of say, as you all are sort of trying to say that, you see him, Binks, he's basically examining your arm from a distance, where he's just like, he stops looking at you and he starts looking at the arm, and he's trying to get as much, like, he's trying to collect information without you having to, being able to examine it, right? So he's trying to get surface information, and he says, I have seen this a couple times before. He won't die as long as it doesn't continue to spread, which we do have some experimental treatments that will stop the spreading of it. Binks, this is something that has just recently, within the past few months, started to come to appear. And so the fact that we have any treatment for it whatsoever is remarkable at this stage. Because most of those people who had it previously were adventurers, and every time they came back, it was worse and worse, and they eventually did die. That took a while. They were a lot farther along when we first met them than you are, but still, we have things that may be able to slow it down enough that we can figure out how to get rid of it.
I don't want your experimental maybes, and if those people were further along and still lasted a while, then I still have a while to go. Everyone dies. That's just part of life.
You're right. Then I will tell you what it is and where we think it comes from. That artifact, looking at it now and seeing what it's caused, that's a Rubidium Artifact. And it is the material that is seeping out of the Sunken Kingdom and the Netherdeep. And we believe that that is its origins, but no one has been able to go and collect it. Very few people have been able to collect enough to be able to craft items from it, such as the sword that you all found. I've seen people who crafted armor out of it. I wasn't sure about it when I first when I first told you all about it, but now seeing it and seeing what it has caused, I'm very sure. That is going to get worse. It will continue to spread with your as the days go by, you will start to become more, it'll become harder to hold your emotions off. We can solve the symptoms of it, the exhaustion that you will feel, but that corruption will keep continuing to grow if you do not keep yourself and your emotions in check.
It's interesting you mentioned the Netherdeep, because there's a call from there.
Yes, it's the one that I sent to you guys. That being said, you can only get such corruption from these artifacts. It is not contagious, so Xylus and you all shouldn't have any problems if you touch Binks or touch that spot, as it is confined to him currently. But those artifacts should not be trusted. It doesn't matter how powerful of an item it may be.
I don't mean any disrespect here, but you told us to go and retrieve this item from this bakery. Told us no other specifics. Didn't tell us to protect
It did
ourselves.
say disease and plague has followed in its wake, and that we did discuss the possibility of putting it inside like a case or something so that its magic couldn't affect us. He was quite illuminating.
But all we're
He didn't know, and like as you're saying this, he sort of nods his head and he says, "You're right," and I have already apologized for that.
But
had I known that this is what it was, then I would have said, "You need to do this."
But that's it. But things go wrong, and that is okay. What I'm getting at is all we're getting for this crazy artifact is a little bit of gold. I think we deserve more, especially Binks. I think Binks should be rewarded for his bravery.
Well, I'm attempting to try to help Binks, but Binks doesn't seek said help.
Well, no.
I will offer what I can, but I cannot offer you the world.
I don't mean offering to save him, like he seems to be. I guess if he doesn't take your care, that's fine. But I mean like a reward.
Yes, a reward will be given to you all in time. I do not have anything at the current moment, as currently I am more preoccupied with your friend's condition than rewarding you for it, as I feel deep remorse for allowing this to happen on my watch. Give me an insight check, Miles.
Seven.
As far as you're aware, he's telling the truth. It seems as though his mind is currently preoccupied with something else. What it is, you're not sure, but given some like context clues, you can kind of guess what it is.
What is it?
It is currently the rubidium corruption that is standing in front of him. You get the sense that he is more concerned right now with Binks and getting rid of it than he is anything else right now. But you do get the sense that he's also like genuine in everything he's saying.
Got it. Binks, please take his help.
If Binks doesn't want it, that is perfectly fine then. Keep the money for the auction, because as I am assuming you didn't partake in it. Consider the items that I procure for you all. Whatever your next selection, quote unquote, is, consider them on the house. I won't put it on your tabs or anything like that. Alright. And I hope that makes up for my mistake. Will that suffice?
Sure. And I'll look at everyone else, see how they all
Silas is just sort of looking at Binks, pleading with him to get some sense.
Yeah,
Xylus,
they're also just kind of watching Binks.
Xylus, if you wouldn't mind, I will require your particular set of skills for a moment.
Absolutely fine. What can I do for you?
He reopens the chest and he sort of brings, like, he does the same thing before he uses the mage hand to lift up the weapon.
I'll use my own mage hand to help him.
He says, I need you to hit this with the strongest divine magic you have. I'm destroying this here and now. I do not want anyone else being able to come in contact with this.
Well, I'm not a priest, but I have some natural magic I call my own. Perhaps that might suffice?
Then, if any spellcasters hit this with the strongest magic you have, and hopefully all of it together will be able to destroy it.
I mean, I can.
What is the object exactly?
The Rubidium.
It's a sword.
Thing, right?
It's the Rubidium Sword that you all found. It's the artifact.
Rubidium is a type of metal.
Yes.
I will cast heat metal at 4th level.
Oh, look at you go. Yeah.
All right. Toby, will you?
Once I notice that it's beginning to get sort of heated, and I'll look for some sort of weakness in the blade, and then I will fire Scorching Ray repetitively into that sort of weakness to heat it further.
Toby, will you attempt to cast anything at it?
So what is this blade made of again?
Rubidium. This is the first time you have encountered this. Like,
right.
You like search through your like the history that you have built up in your mind, and you find no record of this whatsoever.
Hey, well, the fact alone that it's made of rubidium should be plenty enough. How far away can I be to do this from where I stand, so I don't even need to touch the thing?
Just don't hit
Yes.
us.
Oh no, I won't be hitting you.
We're currently holding it with a mage hand, so please.
Okay. Then I have just the spell Heat Metal.
Yes, that's what Thea's doing. Heat it further. Make it hotter.
Yes.
Great.
Let's make it glow even hotter still.
Cool.
All right. Give me whatever your magic modifier is, like whatever you use for magic. Give me a roll with that. So basically, give me an attack roll, like a magical attack roll, but it doesn't have to be like through a spell or anything like that.
A magical attack roll.
Yes.
Okay. That would be a 19.
23.
24.
All right. Owen rolled a 25.
Oh, look at
as,
him.
all of you channel your magic into this, and with a bright light, it explodes, and Owen is able to sort of like contain it and sort of hold it as just like, how do I describe this? The best way that I could describe this is like a banshee of red energy screams out of it and begins to like attempt to break out of like the sphere that Owen's currently holding it, and he begins to just shrink it down. Can you hear me?
I'm just going to put my hand out sort of in front of Binks and cast protection versus this evil on him, just to make sure that nothing comes of this energy happening so close to his wound to him.
Yeah, but he shrinks it down until eventually it's like super tiny, and then he sort of just crushes it in his hand. And he says, well, that is done. I will continue to research what we know of it. Binks, should you ever trust me enough to let me just ask, and we will have all of our researchers research it to figure out everything that we can to help you. But unfortunately, without Binks's permission, there's nothing more I can do. In the coming days, if you all want to request an item, then I will do my best to procure it for you, or something of similar power. But with that, I think I don't think that there's anything more I can do. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I'll take Binks and suggest that maybe we go somewhere he does trust. We head to the temple. I don't think they'll be able to do anything, but...
Yeah, I will say, though, with that, we will end session, just because...
Fine, yes.
I'm gonna ask for a staff of power.
No.
I'm gonna laugh if you get a staff of power, because all you can do is hit people with it. You can't use it.
Yep. So yeah. With that, I'll go to MVPs, and I'll come first to Mr. Curse Man himself. Josh, your MVP.
Mine is the image of Miles being this dark and broody, sneaky character being chased by a gaggle of geese. Yeah.
That's a good
Yep.
one. Miles, Matt, your MVP.
My MVP, it has to go to Binks doing something. I mean, it went wrong, but doing something right, and we actually got this item successfully before the auction. I can't believe it. So Binks gets a big A+.
Except for the bit where he
now.
touched it, yeah.
That's fine. He's okay.
To be fair, he didn't touch it. He touched the wood,
Yeah,
which caused it to happen. But proxy. Jamal.
Wait. If we touch the item and not the wood, it'd be safe.
No,
The
he
wood
didn't.
was infested with it, like a more concentrated dose of it. So that's why it was so immediate when he touched it, rather than the sword was You get the sense that because it was sitting in there for what you can assume is a long time, whatever it's radiating built up, and the first person to touch it and like open it unprotected got hit with all of it. So that's why he immediately had to make a save against it.
Got it.
That was
Joao.
good. I'm gonna go with Thea managing to wrangle another extra item out of the trade.
You mean
What do you need
Miles?
to deal? No, Thea. With the extra magical item
What
at the
magical
very
item?
start.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
sold the staff.
Oh, right,
the
yeah,
extra
sorry.
the extra little tidbit, the staff. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're gonna wrangle more money out of you. Fuck you guys.
Alora, your MVP.
Big plus for Banks for actually getting the item out of the basement without getting caught, even though there was like a spectral cat in the way. Like, come on, that's rude. Was it gonna just like mimic whatever shape I picked?
No,
I feel
no. It was always going to be a cat. It's just it only works via sight. So since Binks was invisible, it couldn't see him, but it saw you try to go. So that's why it stopped you. James, your MVP.
I've got a couple. First of all, the Alora's commitment to cat play, to role playing as a cat, and the mysterious magical baked goods that distract the mind. But also the sheer amount of info that's shared inside Thea's telepathic mind. Just like
Yeah,
the
without that, you
amount
guys
of
would be
information
fucked.
in this game that just goes through Thea's brain. When Thea's like, really not that. I don't know what the word is, but like she's still quite innocent and naive, right? So it's like it seems bizarre that we're having all these like high level plots going on in Thea's mind while she's just like turning in circles. But also the Binks, I am no thief. We can win it at auction. I want to be a paddle guy, and then also Binks. I'm gonna still take the item and bring it out. that was a nice change of heart.
Oh yeah, I had another one. Dang it.
Go on.
Go ahead.
The commitment of not taking a cure. A plus for the player.
D
To be fair, it
minus.
wasn't a cure; it was a treatment.
D minus. I'm gonna chop his arm off in his sleep.
I mean, I do have a battle axe +1, and I can heat metal on it.
Right?
That will certainly cause
Surgically
rise a
remove
wound as
said
well.
sword, said arm.
Next
Duff,
session,
yours?
I will say my MVP goes to Binks as well, but for a different reason, which is you all getting this sooner than I thought you would. This has been told to me since like the beginning of the book. It has mentioned this that you will encounter people who have this, but I didn't think.
You mean the Rubidium corruption?
Yeah, like I thought I was gonna introduce you guys to like NPCs who have it first, right? And you were gonna know about it, and then it was something was gonna happen. But Binks just like full hand doing it, and then the save. It was just like it's nice to see it happen a little bit earlier. It makes things a little bit more interesting now.
It does have an interesting context, but the fact that he's not willing to seek help with it, Silas is pissed.
No, I also.
Well,
that is
I just
another
want to
thing as
clarify.
well.
James thinks that you've done the right thing and like you've stuck your guns and like you're doing what Binks would do. Xylus is
Yeah.
pissed.
Yeah, and that is part of it as well. Is that there's just the commitment to the character is also really good. But with that, I'll hand it back to you, James.
I now say if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
We shall see you soon.
Goodbye for now.